you on the show. Thank you for being here. Your reaction, we'll start with, to President Biden's priorities here. Chip plant visits, somehow more important to him than the southern border crisis?
Well, I mean, look at what he's been doing with his time, since he's been in office. Directed. It's not directed toward what matters to the majority of American people. I mean, look at the agenda items that we vote on a regular basis here. Congress isn't focused on what's important to the American people. But for a sitting president, to look at the emergency situation, the humanitarian crisis that we have at the border, and to say that there are more important things, like what? We have seen you host Christmas parties at the White House. You've been eating your lobster and you've been drinking your champagne with Hollywood royalty. What could be more important? Look how you're spending your time. Why are you not down at the border investigating why so many of our Customs and Border Patrol folks are committing suicide because of the working conditions that are down there? Why are you not looking at the hundreds of people who are murdered every day trying to cross into our country? Why are you not looking at the tens of thousands of people that are dying because of fentanyl that's getting here illegally? For you to say that, oh, we just don't have time, there are more important things. I would hope that you could walk and chew gum if you have decided to be president of the United States, and that you would recognize that this is an emergency situation that we're facing down every day. The 73,000 people that you said crossed over, I don't think that's not the total extent of people who've come over. That's an estimate. I guarantee you it's more than that, and there's more every single day, and there is no plan in action right now at all except to deny it.
Yeah, and that's a great point. We estimate how many people have crossed through, but we can't know an exact number with certainty. After all, if people got away, it means that we didn't detect them. It means that they escaped, and we don't know how many have gotten away. We know a rough estimate, which is 1 million. So that's on the low end, if we're being real here. Now, I will say, I think Biden's, him saying that it's not important to him, the open border's not important to him, it's important to him for very different reasons, for personal interests. It's important for him for the border to remain open, Congresswoman, so that we can keep flooding the country with foreign nationals and then grant mass amnesty and voting rights to all of them, which seems to be their plan here. And Chuck Schumer just outlined that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, when we say they're doing a horrible job and they're not doing their job, it depends what the goal is. If the goal is to protect our citizens, if the goal is to secure our borders, they're absolutely not doing it. But if their goal, which is, as you mentioned, Chuck Schumer has alluded to this, is to bring in people from foreign nations to be able to vote for them in the future, then they're doing just great. But it's one thing for us to complain about it. It's something else for us to come up with a plan to combat it. You're going to see the Texas delegation tomorrow. We're having a press conference where we're actually identifying and outlining our plan to move forward to protect our borders and to secure our nation. And we're going to be doing things like how we classify drug smugglers and human traffickers so that we'll have additional tools to be able to actually deal with them and look at the damage that they're doing to our country and look at them as a terrorist organization. We're going to be looking at different resources that we can direct down to the border, how we can work with the state of Texas and Governor Abbott's office and other law enforcement agencies to make sure that we are enforcing our laws and protecting our communities.
Now, I want to switch gears here and talk about the economic situation in America, because we've already established, and depending on the goals, if Biden's goal is to destroy our national sovereignty, he's doing a great job. But if his goal is an actual good, desirable, honorable goal, securing the border, he's doing a terrible job. He's also doing a terrible job on the economy, right? And all you have to do is tell people to check their bank accounts. Everyone knows it. Everyone feels it. But according to Joe Biden, in his fever dreams, American people, are starting to feel very optimistic about the economy. Here's Biden insisting on that.
What I'm most excited about is people are starting to feel a sense of optimism as they see the impact of the achievements in their own lives.
So, Congresswoman, are Americans, I know you've talked to so many constituents of yours down in Texas. They're obviously distraught over the border. How do they feel about the economy?
That's the number one concern. That's their number one priority. That's their number one issue that they're dealing with right now is rising costs at the pump, rising costs at the gas station. I mean, at the grocery store, rising pump at restaurants to get basic necessities. They are paying more now than they have ever in the past. And this president, by saying, "Oh, they're optimistic about it," is obviously out of touch. He's not bringing forward solutions to deal with that. And we need to start doing that for people because I don't care whether or not it's small groups, it's mom and pop shops, the small businesses, you're talking to students. This is their number one priority. And they have every reason to be concerned when they're basically forfeiting 1 month of their salary to inflationary costs. When we're looking at inflation being 8%, that's 1 month of the salary that they have completely given up, and they're not getting any kind of value out of that. It's only getting worse. And under this administration, it's just spend, 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 no reining in, no accountability. And hopefully next month, when Republicans at least have some kind of stopgap by gaining control of the House, we'll be able to look at those policies, be able to offer our own, and get solutions that are passing through the House and up to the Senate, and we'll see what they do with them once they get there.